The first step to mastering your life is to master your thoughts. This is the central promise of Stoic philosophy, a timeless wisdom that has guided leaders, artists, and everyday people for centuries. We often believe that peace is something we must find out there in the world, in a new job, a different city, or a relationship. But the Stoics knew better. They understood that peace is not something you find, it is something you create. Your mind is the source of all your suffering and all your serenity. It can be a chaotic storm of worry and fear, or it can be an unbreachable fortress, a quiet citadel that protects you from the turmoil of the outside world. The choice, ultimately, is yours. To build this inner fortress, you must first recognize that the external world has no power over your inner state unless you allow it. Events themselves are neutral. It is your judgment about them, your thoughts, that give them their sting. A missed flight is not inherently a catastrophe. It is your reaction that makes it so. A critical comment from a colleague is just words. It is your interpretation that turns it into a personal attack. This is the core teaching of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, who reminded us that it is not things that disturb us, but our opinions about things. Mastering this distinction is the beginning of all wisdom and the first brick laid in the foundation of your inner peace. Think of your mind as a garden. If you neglect it, weeds will grow. Toxic thoughts of anxiety, resentment, and self-doubt will choke out everything beautiful. But if you tend to it with care, you can cultivate flowers of clarity, resilience, and joy. This requires daily effort. It means pulling the weeds of negativity as soon as they sprout and planting the seeds of rational, virtuous thinking. You are the gardener of your own mind. The tools of Stoicism are your shovel and your watering can, helping you clear the ground and nurture the thoughts that will lead to a flourishing life. This is not a passive activity. It is an active, ongoing practice of mental cultivation. The journey to a clear mind is not about eliminating all negative thoughts forever. That is an impossible and frustrating goal. Instead, it is about changing your relationship with them. It is about learning to see them for what they are. Fleeting, ephemeral, and ultimately powerless unless you give them power. The goal is to develop a mental resilience so strong that no matter what storms rage outside, your inner tranquility remains untouched. As we will explore, the Stoics provided a practical, step-by-step guide to achieve this, a clear path to building that fortress of the mind where you can always find refuge, strength, and clarity. The first practice for clearing your mind is to cultivate the power of awareness. You must learn to observe your thoughts without immediately identifying with them. Imagine your mind is a vast, open sky. Your thoughts, the worries, the plans, the fears, the memories are just clouds passing through. Some are dark and stormy, others are light and fluffy. Your job is not to control the clouds or fight the storm. Your job is to be the sky itself, the silent, spacious consciousness that watches them come and go. When a negative thought appears, you simply notice it. You can even label it, there is a thought of worry, or this is just a thought, not the truth. This simple act of observation creates a space between you and your thoughts. In that space lies your freedom. This technique, which modern psychology calls cognitive diffusion, is a cornerstone of mental clarity. You are not your thoughts, you are the one who is aware of them. When you forget this, you get swept up in the drama of every passing cloud, believing you are the storm. But when you remember your role as the observer, the thoughts lose their grip on you. They are no longer a part of your identity, but simply mental events floating by. This separation is the key to reclaiming your inner peace from the chaos of an undisciplined mind. This practice requires you to slow down and pay attention to the constant stream of chatter inside your head. Most of us go through our days on autopilot, completely fused with our thoughts and emotions. We believe every criticism our inner voice whispers and react to every flicker of anxiety, as if it were a real and present danger. To break this cycle, you must become a student of your own mind. Notice the patterns. When does your anxiety spike? What triggers your anger? What stories do you tell yourself about your failures? By simply watching without judgment, you begin to understand the mechanics of your own suffering, which is the first step toward dismantling it. So, today, try this simple exercise. Whenever you feel a wave of strong emotion or catch yourself in a spiral of negative thinking, pause. Take a deep breath. Step back and just watch the thought. See it as a cloud drifting across the boundless sky of your awareness. Do not engage with it. Do not argue with it, and do not try try to push it away. Just let it be, and let it pass. The more you practice this, the more you will realize that you are the unshakable sky, not the fleeting weather. This is the first and most crucial step toward a mind that is clear, focused, and free. A mind that clings to the past cannot be free. If you are burdened by old resentments, regrets, and worries about the future, your mental space will be too cluttered for clarity. The Stoics understood this deeply, viewing such attachments as a form of self-inflicted suffering. The Roman philosopher Seneca wisely wrote, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary." This perfectly captures the pain of worry, suffering over events that have not happened and may never happen. Likewise, holding on to grudges from the past is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. It only harms you, filling your mind with toxic bitterness. The Stoic solution is to practice the art of mental release. This is an active process of letting go. It means making a conscious decision to forgive those who have wronged you, not for their sake, but for yours. Forgiveness frees up the mental and emotional energy that was being wasted on nursing a grievance. It also means releasing your regrets. You cannot change the past, you can only learn from it and move forward. Dwelling on mistakes keeps you anchored to a moment you can no longer influence, preventing you from fully engaging with the present, which is the only place where you have any real power to act. This process of release can be supported by practical daily habits. Many find solace in journaling, writing down their worries and resentments to get them out of their heads and onto paper. Once externalized, these thoughts often seem smaller and more manageable. Others may turn to meditation or prayer, offering up their burdens to a higher power, or simply using the quiet time to consciously let go of what is weighing them down. The specific method is less important than the intention behind it. The goal is to train your mind to flow like a river, which carries things along for a while but ultimately releases them, rather than a stagnant pond where debris accumulates and festers. Think of your mind as a container. If you fill it with heavy stones of anger and fear, there is no room for anything else. But if you practice emptying it each day, you create space for peace, creativity, and presence. Challenge yourself to let go of one small grudge or one persistent worry today. Notice how much lighter you feel. As you make this a regular practice, you will find that your mind becomes less of a prison holding you captive to the past and future, and more of a clear, open space where you can live freely and fully in the present moment. This is the path to true mental liberation. En zaken sorg des suspersens daarvoor. In our hyper-connected, noisy world, true stillness has become a rare and precious commodity. Yet the Stoics knew that it is essential for a clear mind. They sought a state they called ataraxia, a deep and profound tranquility of the soul, untouched by the chaos of life. This is not the absence of noise, but the presence of clarity. It is the ability to find a quiet center within yourself, even when the world around you is screaming for your attention. The great Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, reminded himself of this truth, writing in his private journal, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This inner retreat is not in some faraway place. It is accessible to you right here, right now. The key to finding it is to intentionally practice stillness every single day. This does not require a silent mountain cave or a week-long retreat. It can be as simple as setting aside 10 minutes to sit in a quiet room without any distractions. No phone, no television, no music, no books. Just you and your own mind. During this time, your only task is to be present. Focus on the sensation of your breath moving in and out of your body. When your mind wanders, as it inevitably will, gently guide it back to your breath without judgment. This simple practice of daily stillness acts as a reset button for your nervous system. In a world that constantly pulls you outward, it is an act of pulling yourself inward. It reconnects you with your true self, the calm observer beneath the surface-level noise of your thoughts and emotions. Modern science confirms what the Stoics knew, intuitively. Practices like this can reduce stress, improve focus, and build new neural pathways in the brain associated with self-awareness and emotional regulation. Over time, this daily ritual builds a foundation of inner calm that you can carry with you throughout your day. The happiness of your life, as Marcus Aurelius concluded, depends entirely on the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, you must guard your mind as you would guard your most precious possession. Watch over the gates of your mind carefully. Be intentional about what you let in and what you cultivate within. The practices of awareness, release, and stillness are not just philosophical ideas, they are practical tools for a better life. Start today. Begin to watch your thoughts, to let go of your burdens, and to find your inner retreat. Your peace of mind is the greatest prize you can win, and it is entirely within your grasp.